This podcast could potentially have adult language, adult themes, definitely drinking, and possibly the possibility of sexual content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Drinking with Authors, the Literary Briefs edition. I'm going to try to remember this entire intro. My name is Erica Lance. My co-host today is the fabulous Danielle M. Orsino, and our guest today is Hollis Joe McCollum. Okay, let's talk about what we're drinking, because I can do that since my internet is actually working now. I am drinking, as you can tell, I've possibly opened this today. It's called Beach Haven Vineyards Winery, and this is their blackberry. And they are actually in Clarksville, Tennessee. My daughter got this for me when she was in the military, combat medic. And I realized I hadn't drank it because it was in my fridge in the back. And that's where I always find my beverages. And I'm drinking it out of my, also provided by my daughter, Best Fucking Meemaw Ever cup, which you can't really see exactly, but it does say that, I promise.
Very nice.
Okay, I'm not making that up. Danielle, what are you drinking, my love?
I'm going non-alcoholic today. Clearly Canadian country raspberry water, sparkling water. But here's the special part. I'm drinking it out of my dragon goblet that you got me for Christmas.
I did. Oh my God, that's absolutely beautiful, because I did not see it live in person before it arrived. I love that.
So I'm very fancy.
Very fancy. Danielle is always way more fancy than I am. Okay. Hollis, what are you drinking, my darling?
I am drinking hot London cup of tea with done the British way, which is milk in one, which milk in one is a little bit of milk and 1 teaspoon of sugar.
Oh, very British of you. And what does your cup say for those who can't read it?
So my cup says other writers, me. Because I mean, not that I'm the best writer in the world, but I do pole dance. So
let's talk. We didn't get to talk about that.
Yeah, let's get into the pole dancing thing.
Let's talk about pole dancing, shall we? Because we don't get to start off most episodes doing that. So there's a pole behind you for anybody actually watching the YouTube, and a brilliant screen, which I love, by the way, with all the lights.
Thank you. It covers up the art chest where all my art supplies are, and actually the litter box for the cats.
Oh, we just figured it was adding ambiance to the pole, but okay.
No, it covers up ugly shit behind the thing, and then when I'm recording or teaching classes for pole, they don't need to be looking at like all the bullshit that's behind that. So
okay, so explain the pole dancing part of your history degree.
So I've been dancing since I was like a little kid. I did like the ballet, tap, jazz, everything when you're little, and I did Latin ballroom in like high school and college, and then like just 3 years ago, oh my gosh, my poleversary, I'm gonna be 4 years in May. We call it our poleversary because we're all, polars are dorky like that, we're cool like that, and
that is the first time I've ever heard that.
My poleversary is in May.
Have you ever heard that before, Danielle? A poleversary?
No, I'm trying to get. I'm just poleversary. That's
the anniversary of when I started polling. Yeah, as in May. So I almost 4 years ago, I just one of my really best friends, Christelle, she and I have always worked out together because I'm also a Zumba instructor. I've been teaching Zumba since 2011, and she and I have been taking Zumba together since 2007 and blah blah blah, but she was like, let's try pole, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's try pole. It is the best workout I have ever gotten. It combines strength and grace and agility and flexibility. It is the hardest thing I've ever done, and I have been athletic and dancing. I did martial arts when I was younger. Like, I've been pretty athletic my whole life. And this is the hardest shit I've ever done.
You're the second author I've talked to that's done this.
Oh, really?
The second author I've talked to. Yeah.
Who's the other
That's
one?
The
so
author
funny.
you talk to that does this?
I did a podcast. Cheryl did it, and she was an author who's interviewing me, and she pole dances, and she's been pole dancing for years, and she said the same thing. She was like, you should totally try it. She's like, authors love this, and I'm like, it's an author thing, and she was like, yeah, it's totally an author thing.
I didn't know it was.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
that many
there's a-
authors who pole dance, so I need to Cheryl. I don't know. You have to send
Yeah.
me email me.
Oh,
who
yeah.
You got to create a entire community called Authors Who Pole Dance. I think that should be like
Author
a motto
polls.
people
author
have.
polls. I should. Well, because I have on my social, I have a pole dancing account. You know, I have 3 different accounts. I have a cosplay account, none of which are personal. I have a cosplay account, an author account, and a pole dancing account. And the cosplay account is essentially dead in the water because I don't really I still cosplay, but it's just for fun, so I don't bother to keep up with it so much. But like the pole dancing, I'm teaching classes, I'm learning and taking classes, and then of course the author thing I am most active on. But yeah, I love that, and it is absolutely, it is so much fun. You get a lot of satisfaction over like being able to tell people, it's like, yeah, I can lift my own, like I can go upside down on nothing but the power of my own abs, like, and then like
impressive.
squeezing with one armpit.
That's impressive.
Yeah, no, everyone who's done that or done any classes like that has told me that it is the most intense workout they've ever done. Because I think it's a lot like yoga in regards to you're using your own body strength to do everything. So it's not like,
yeah.
you know, when you do weights or you have a machine or anything else, you have to use your own body strength. I did hot yoga for years, and I hope to find a hot yoga place up here. But man, that shit will tire you out doing stuff that is like almost nothing. You're like, bend this one little way, but you somehow have to hold yourself up, and you're like, I'm gonna die. So
you're exactly right, because I do yoga for conditioning. You know, once a week I do yoga. I take classes from my friend. Well, her name is Monica, but she's vegan pole dancer online, and she's an amazing yoga instructor. But she's also an amazing, beautiful pole dancer as well. And I fucking love it. And you're exactly right about that. It is, you are using your own condition. And then when you're dancing, because you're not supposed to make it look like it's difficult, like in your heart, you are like grunting in pain, but you have to remain like, oh yeah, this is nothing. Like you're supposed to remain serene.
Calm in the storm.
Yeah, it's like, oh, shh. It's like, but no. You are like, I am on fire right now. Like everything in my body wants to break. But then outside, you're supposed to be, oh, yes, this was so, that aerial split was so easy. Oh, it's like, no, it's not. But it's
Erica, let's do a pole dancing class. Let's make all the authors, like we're all gonna come together and do a pole dancing class. Let's do it.
You should.
I think we should do it. And I don't think most of us will survive, but I appreciate the enthusiasm, because I think you will, Danielle. The rest of us will like
Do it.
You know, we're like, cool, we leaned against the pole. Look at us. Look at us. We
Danielle, you tell me, if you want to email me what your area is, I will find you a pole studio.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do it.
because,
We're
yes.
gonna do this.
Yeah, I will send you. You tell me where you are. I will find you pole studios, because my
Charlotte,
instructor,
North Carolina.
Like, like they're all over the place, and I got the pole community is awesome. FYI, they're like such good people, and many people don't realize how accomplished there are a lot of doctors. Like I know surgeons who are pole dancers, and like people have like it's like, yeah, my nurse is like, do you know how many nurses do pole? Like so many.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I can see that. It does surprise me.
Danielle's also a nurse, so
Yeah. Yeah, there's something
Danielle's
there that
all
just
the
tells me.
things. She's the hero. She's everything. Okay, so she'll send you her information. I'll give her your information. You'll find each other. The pole dancing will dock come in.
And I'll find you a studio, because I think everyone should try it at least once, because I'm like, again, as somebody who like was pretty athletic and strong, when I started pole dancing like almost 4 years ago, I was like, okay, I should be able to do certain things a little bit more easily just because of my background and like martial arts and all this shit.
No.
No, it was still like the first time I had to pull myself up with my just using my own, like pull my own body weight up. I was like, oh shit, I am not as good as I think I am.
Nice.
It takes you a little bit, but in a good way. And then you get stronger. And then yeah, it's good. And then you get all these bruises, but that's okay because those are just battle scars and what we lovingly call pole kisses.
Once a new term again, Erica.
I'm
Yeah,
learning
pole kiss.
so many things today that I won't remember because of the wine.
Anniversary, pole
So-
kisses.
Pole kiss. We also have pole mamas. Like, so my original pole mama is a wonderful woman named Gina, who I'm still great friends with, and I still take classes. But yeah, she's the first person who like taught me pole. And then you have your pole sisters, who are the people that you like pole with all the time. I don't know.
Erica, we're gonna be pole sisters.
We
Hell
can be
yeah,
pole sisters.
I'll send you both like my pole social media because I'm like,
Yeah, send that to us so we can do that. We'll share it. Okay, so this is supposed to be rapid fire. We've gone down a rabbit hole for most of this rapid fire episode so far. So go team.
Sorry.
That's not your fault. I think people will be like, what is happening?
I take the blame. It's okay.
No, it's okay. I do not care. Me and this blackberry, by the way, it's really, really good. Like it's not very sweet. And as you can see,
Yeah,
very good.
you're liking it.
I'm loving it. I'm going to stop myself though until I eat something because I have to cook what I eat, and I don't think I should have the whole bottle before I do that.
Mhm.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
What is your favorite book of all time? Hollis?
Oh, I at this moment, I will say probably The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett.
Why?
Every time I reread it, I find something new. And he is a historian who writes historical fiction, and he's also accurate. And I believe that he gives accurate portrayals. His characters are so well developed because I don't know. I just love it. It's such a story that I am surprised every time I read it, and I have read it like 4 times.
Very cool. What about your least favorite book?
Oh, things I never finished, probably. Let me think. I can't even remember the title of it. It just was like, fuck this book so much. Probably the least favorite book I ever read was a Harlequin romance when I was younger. I was like in middle school or early high school. I don't remember what it was, but like a 14 or 15-year-old, I remember stopping halfway through because I was like, this is bullshit. And I just couldn't even with the characters. Even as a teenager who was completely inexperienced in relationships and everything else, I was just like, it was about a woman whose husband had like disappeared for years, and then this other guy who was a good guy was coming on the scene, and then her husband came back and they were fighting over her, and she was being a complete airhead about the whole situation. And I was like, I couldn't even finish it. I was like, what is this idiot doing? I was like, I know I'm a kid, but this adult woman is fucking dumb, and I can't deal with like, did she forget that her husband fucking left for 3 years and didn't give her a goddamn explanation or anything? Like, fuck that guy. I don't know. I was so mad. I was old before my time, and
I appreciate that, but
yeah. So, and I remember I was getting really frustrated in the middle, and then I was like, okay, it's gonna be worth it if she ends up with the right person, like with the good guy who's done nothing but be supportive and kind and like be a good person. And then I turned to the last page and she ended up with her like husband, and I was like, I don't even care, because there's nothing that he could say or do that would ever make up for the fact of how he left and what there was nothing. I don't care if it was like super secret spy, it doesn't matter, none of that, because he was a total dick to his wife and he never apologized. No.
Done.
That you just were bored with this book.
Yeah, no, very, very viscerally bored.
Okay, I'm gonna make Danielle ask her infamous question now.
Oh, my infamous.
Mix it up a
Okay.
bit.
Okay, there we go. If you could meet one of these 3 cryptids in order to prove its existence, which one would it be? Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, or an alien?
Loch Ness Monster.
That's
And
the correct
why?
answer for Danielle, for the record.
Not that it's biased or anything.
No,
And
she
why would it
told
be
you if you
Nessie?
don't answer that correctly, she won't post your episode.
So okay, so I actually wrote a paper on Saint Columba of Scotland. Do you know this story, Danielle?
Yes, he's the first one. Yes,
The
1531.
first sighting
AD.
of Nessie
Yes.
was from Saint Columba, the year 625.
Oh, 620. Yes.
Yeah, and so I wrote and that made it to my paper, and that
I'm a
paper
little
did get
verklempt.
published by the university, just at FYI.
So you're
But
gonna have to send us this story now.
so, well, it's a very quick little story. So Saint Columba of Iona, who was, by the way, really fun and interesting. Of the saints are pretty cool. Just a lot of people are like, oh, they were just holy men. It's like, yeah, they were all like God believers. Some really cool shit too. Like they did, like Saint Columba was like a very ornery Irishman who like went to Scotland and built a monastery, and like he did some wild shit. He cursed like a fucking sailor. He was, he was godly, but like he was rough. And he was going around performing miracles and doing the things. And he had his little scribe dude, and they were at Loch Ness, where there was a monster in the lake that would eat people, right? Nessie. And so St. Columba was there, and he saw a fisherman in the boat, and the monster was coming toward, or no, the fisherman like fell out of the boat or something, but the monster was coming toward. And St. Columba stood on the shore and basically like held up the cross or did whatever he did. And he commanded the Loch Ness monster not to do that shit. He was like, you will not, I forget the exact words, but like, he was like, you will not do this. You do not eat people. Like, you stop that right now. Bad. And, and the monster was like cowed by St. Columba. And then from then on, it did not eat people anymore. It still existed.
But there was no longer a fatality.
It was no longer a fatality monster. It was fine. And they were all like, thanks, St. Columba, you stopped us all like getting eaten all the time at Loch Ness. and that's one of the reasons. But also Nessie, I also believe in Bigfoot and aliens, but I totally think that Nessie is real in some context or another, and I desperately want to know what the context is, because there are so many theories that could be true. I don't know about the dinosaur thing, but I do know, I mean, they're all
the whale's penis thing, because that's my favorite explanation.
Which one?
The whale's penis.
Oh God. That's hilarious.
Seriously, they talk about blue whales will mate there, and they mate in threes. People don't realize it. They mate in 2 males and a female. And when they're in between, whatever, the males will roll over on their back and their dicks will go up and kind of flop over, but they're fucking huge. So they look like the neck and the head of Nessie.
And the fin of the flipper. Oh, that is
There's a whole documentary on this. You can look it up.
I haven't seen that one, and I'm going to. Yeah, that's the other one is like sturgeons or sturgeons.
The sturgeon, they said no, because when they did the DNA sample of the water, no sturgeons showed up and no coelacanths showed up.
Okay.
So they said it's not that. Then a recent one came up about the eels and said there's no eel DNA in there that says that they could grow that big. So we disproved the eel theory as well.
But the whale penis, that actually has some merit, I will say.
I'm super excited to say whale penis whenever I can in relation to this. I think Nessie could be definitely something other than that based on what everybody's seen and done. And I firmly believe we haven't seen everything. There was a news article. I do another podcast called Eerie Travels where we talk about just weird shit. But there was a news story recently where they're not calling it Sasquatch, they're calling it like a mutant ape human thing that people have seen. So apparently this picture was actually taken several years ago, and several residents saw this creature, like interacted with it, but it was never reported. And it's sort of like a mutated like gorilla thing that walks on two legs and is very hairy and whatever. And there's a satellite picture of this thing that got taken. So I firmly believe there are things out there that we just don't know what they are. Now, whether they're naturally based, there's cave systems all over this country in our mountains where things could be.
Yep.
Or they, you know, like, I hate to say it, but there was, for instance, a group of Germans, Nazis, that mutated and tried to bring back old DNA. They're not the only ones that could have been doing this. They're horrific assholes and fuck them, but they're not the only ones, because they brought back 2 or 3 creatures, and like they're bringing back, publicizing, they're bringing back the giant elephants. What are they called?
The woolly mammoths. Yeah, I saw
The
I
woolly
saw
mammoths.
something about
Yes.
that. Yeah, which
Yeah.
I'm just
So-
like, we'll stop fucking with the science and just like let the like these things.
Did we
do
learn
not
nothing
die
from
out
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, exactly. Have we learned nothing? It's like,
No, did you not see there's like 10 of those fucking movies? Of course they've learned nothing. They're not making, what did he say? I'm not making the same mistakes. No, you're making all new ones. Like,
Yes.
you know what we need to do is give it more teeth. Yeah, that's a great plan.
Yeah.
That's a
Make
fucking
it
brilliant
bigger,
plan.
make it
smarter, with
Good
more
job.
teeth. That's the way we go.
That's how we're gonna
Did
do
you
it.
ever
That's
see
how
the
we get
movie?
ourselves extinct.
Yeah, exactly. Did you ever see the movie Deep Blue Sea?
Oh yes, I was just thinking
LL
of
Cool
that.
J?
Yes.
Yes.
One of my
There we
favorite
go.
movies to show people, and let's not reveal the ending, but it's one of my favorite movies to show people and go, at the party scene, I go, who do you think is going to survive this? 2 people survive. Tell me who you think is going to survive this. Nobody ever guesses it fucking correctly, right? But what's interesting to me about that movie is her line. It is the best line where she goes, there's a side effect, the sharks got smarter. I'm glad you considered that a fucking side effect.
Side
That's
effect.
That's a great thing.
Oh,
Let's increase a shark's brain by 100 times, because that sounds like a good plan.
yeah, really.
Well, they
Well,
do
and you
eat
know, it's funny that movie when it first came out years ago, which I love that film, but my brother was trying to get his girlfriend at the time to go see it with him, and she wasn't really into shark movies, and I was like sitting near him when he described this, and she was like, well, what's it about? And he was like, no, it's about it's really cool. It's about a bunch of sharks that get smarter and then they eat people. And she was like, I do not want to see that movie. Well, you're not wrong, but also there's a better way to
No, there's a better way to describe it. And I think a lot of people, that happens to be one of those gems that people miss, because it actually has a brilliant fucking cast.
It does.
But the premise totally goes to the fact that people do shit with like one idea in mind, right? Which is, and I'm not fucking stealing anything from this movie, go see it, that they're going to cure Alzheimer's.
Yes,
Right?
that
That's
was it.
the idea,
Alzheimer's.
but they need the
Yep.
protein from shark brains to cure Alzheimer's. This is all revealed within the first fucking 15 minutes, so I'm not stolen.
Spoiler. The movie
premise of
came
the-
out in like 2000 or something.
Yeah.
Like that. I think we're if you're
But
in a
the
20 minutes.
the whole point though is that you get so, and it's true, I think, unfortunately, fucking with science. It's true with Jurassic Park too. Singularly focused, that you do not think about the fucking ramifications of everything else. You do not take the 10 steps back to go, wait a minute, is this a fucking good idea or not?
Mhm.
And
Yep.
nobody ever does that. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're almost through this entire episode and we've asked like 3 questions. Okay, I'm going to ask you another question. What is your favorite outfit to wear when you're writing?
Ooh.
Something comfortable. I don't know. I like wearing comfortable dresses with like long socks and probably a big chunky cardigan and boots or something, because I usually write at cafes, so I have to look somewhat presentable.
I like it. What about your favorite snack while you're writing?
Ooh. Okay. I go to this one specific cafe that's a mile from my house, and it's owned by this wonderful couple and the woman the wife, she makes everything from scratch, and she makes these delicious Korean egg buns, which are like a beautiful dough. I forget what they're called in Korean. I'd have to look it up for you. But in the traditional Korean egg bun, it's like a hard-boiled egg in the middle. She does egg salad in the middle, which I love. I know not everyone does. I love it. And so I get like this like hot, like delicious Korean egg bun with my cup of coffee, and it's perfect.
Well, sounds perfect. Okay, Danielle, I'm going to ask one more and then you're going to get the final one. If you
Got
could
it.
travel anywhere, no matter what the cost and everything, you can just go wherever you want to, where would you go?
Oh God, that's such a hard question. How dare. I've traveled a lot. I'm a Navy brat. I've been to well over 35 countries. I would okay, first thing that comes to mind is honestly I would go back to the UK. I fucking love it there.
I love the UK. I love the food in the UK. A lot of people don't say that, but I fucking love the food.
The food is really good. The British food gets a bad rap, but honestly, like, who dislikes comfort food? Because that's what British food is. Like, hello, potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree 100%. I agree. Okay, Danielle, final question.
Favorite book to movie TV adaptation?
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, and I don't fucking agree with that at all.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, but I think it's because I
could
saw
have
the
been
movie first.
Is the first Jurassic Park?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
see, they took a book that was not a children's book by any stretch of the fucking imagination, and they made it into a children's movie. And FYI, in the spirit of things, that is not what happens in the fucking book.
No, it is not. But I did see the movie first
And
when
then
I
read the book.
11 or 12. And I loved the movie. And then I read the book a couple of years later, and I also loved the book. And they are different, but because I still loved the movie. I think when you see the movie first.
Oh no, I think the movie
it's
is
better.
brilliant and it's beautiful and it got everybody loving dinosaurs again. And don't get me wrong, I think it's great. I just don't think it's the book. You know, like it took the name of the characters and stuff, but like a lot of people don't realize, spoiler alert, the dinosaurs are off the fucking island, which is what starts the entire people showing up at the island to go, what the fuck is happening? Because babies have died in Costa Rica because more than the comfies are off the fucking island.
Yes.
And they figure this out. So yeah.
The book is they're both, it's worth a watch and it's really worth a read. But as far as, because it is an adaptation, that's my favorite. Lord of the Rings, that I feel that's a good, the Peter Jackson version, the trilogy there. I feel like that was a really, that's my second one probably. There were so many. I don't know. A lot of the adaptations are just like make you so sad and angry and but yeah, there are some really good ones out there.
No, and one of our previous co-hosts, Chelsea, said it brilliantly that if you treat the movies as if they're fan fiction from the books, you'll be in a good place.
That's a wonderful way to put it.
Because you'll never get everything from a movie into a TV show or, the book to movie TV show. Okay. Shameless self-promotion time. Let's talk about again where your books and where to find you and where to find your books.
So where to find me on social media, Instagram at Hollis Joe McCollum. And then my website, hollisjoemccollumauthor.com, my YouTube channel, Hollis Joe McCollum, author. Everything is under the same name so that you can pretty much find me all the time. So, that's a marketing tip for anyone trying to build like a little thing. My LinkedIn, again, the same. So everything is basically under my pen name. And then my books, To Save a World, which the re-release will be coming in late spring, early summer, but that's available presently on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com and basically wherever books are sold. Goodreads is a great place to find it and find the retailers. My second book, Spare the Swallow, which was released October of 2022. That is out also Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. And they're both on the Ingram list. So if you just want to go to like your local independent bookstore and be like, I want this one, they can order it for you. And then you support your local bookstores too, which I like to do. So
yeah.
I agree. Very cool. Thank you so much for being on the podcast with us. It has been wonderful having you.
Oh, I loved it. I really enjoyed myself. Thank you. And I that blackberry wine does look tasty. I might have to go look up some of that stuff.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I have to say, a lot of these fruit wines are way too sweet. Like I feel like they just fucking add sugar to it.
Yeah,
and
it's just juice.
Yeah, this is
essentially.
not way too sweet. It's pretty. It's a fruit table wine. It says so right on the label. I don't know what the fuck a table wine means, but whatever. It sounds brilliant.
Don't all the glasses go on a table? Never mind.
I seriously, it's on a table right now versus a fruit floor wine or something. I'm sure there's a technical thing. Somebody can post us about it. It's fine. Then we'll figure it out. Guys, this has been Drinking with Authors, the Literary Briefs edition. I have been your host, Erica Lance. My co-host has been the amazing Danielle M. Orsino. Don't forget to like, subscribe, review, leave a comment. Our guest has been Hollis, Joe McCollum, and we will see you next time.